Hey everybody, it's Cam from Bulwark. I wanted to take Adam Mockler captive and make him watch some videos of himself debating people. So you could get a little bit of a behind the scenes peek at some of what Adam's been going up to lately, because Adam, so many people see you trade jabs with some people on TV who are saying some dumb stuff, but I feel like they don't get a look into the mind of what the Mockler is thinking. And I feel as though I can use my interpretive skills to help give them a little bit better an idea. But real quick, when you're going up to one of these debates that always goes so viral, like, do you get nervous? Do you get anxious? Or are you just like locked in, don't give a fuck?
It's hard to describe. I don't get as nervous anymore because I trust myself, but trusting myself is a function of a lot of preparation before the debate. So I get anxious for the topics. I'm waiting for the topics. And then once I have the topics, I usually dig in. And I know that if I spend enough time preparing, that I will be fine. I can trust myself and I can back myself up. With the one where I did the one on stage at the Kennedy Center, I actually didn't know the topics till like 15 minutes before. I was literally texting my producer. I was like, dude, I don't know what the topics are going to be. But it ended up being a topic that I was really steeped in due to my Jubilee debate prep. So I was already steeped in political violence. So I just kind of whipped that out in the moment. And I trusted myself to do it.
Speaking of political violence, I want to play the first of the clips that I pulled, which is you talking to an individual who worked with Charlie Kirk in one way or another. And he had some very interesting behaviors that he was displaying. Let's take a look.
Listen, there has been a trend of, I think, let's just say, let's be gracious and say, in the era of Trump, maybe it's a reaction to Trump. I'm open to those discussions, but there is a justification for political violence. It shows up in every poll, and it's coming from progressives.
I have spent all of my formative years watching the President of the United States talk about the opposition party like they shouldn't exist. His claim to fame in U.S. politics was saying that Obama wasn't born in America. That is how he entered the political stage. He was famous before that, but that was his claim to fame. He was the first presidential candidate to ever chant "lock her up" on a political stage. He tried to coup our government. And I live in this, let me finish. Listen. I live in the city of Chicago. Donald Trump over the past 2 months has not only posted an AI video of Obama being arrested, but then after that, he posted an AI image of Chicago being invaded. After that, he sent the National Guard to Chicago. So I've spent my formative years watching the president do this. And just think about this. We saw these Nazi group chats, which I'm sure you condemn, right? This Nazi group chat.
Well, we can talk about it.
Do you condemn it?
I want to talk about it.
Wait, so when they said gas chambers,
when
they say gas chambers, you won't. So you're like JD Vance. You just won't condemn this?
Well, I actually had JD on the show today. We had a whole conversation.
You guys can all condemn this, right?
Hell yes.
Thank you.
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on.
But
Chris, can you condemn that?
Here's the point, of course. But that's easy.
For him.
But you know what? This is not constructive.
So I imagine you knew that you guys were going to be talking about political violence. So when you're locking in for that, like, do you go and check the statistics? Do you just start jotting shit down on a piece of paper? Like, what does that prep look like?
That's the one where I didn't know what we were going to talk about until about 15 minutes before. I didn't quite fully understand until 15 minutes before, but I was already steeped in prep about this topic because I was waiting for my Jubilee. It was like 3 days after that. So that was just me on the spot, but I'd already used that exact same talking point on CNN before. I mean, just to be honest, the preparation is iterative in the sense that I use a talking point, maybe in like a Cuomo interview online, and then I kind of sharpen it up a bit on CNN, and then I was able to pull that out when I needed to on stage right there, and I felt confident doing so. I will say that a specific appearance has caused a lot of drama, not only online, but with Chris Cuomo himself. He then pulled me on his show the next day and asked me why I outrage baited about that clip, or why I was like so crazy with that clip, or why Midas Touch captioned the clip that way to make him look bad. And I said, dude, we didn't try to make him look bad. You're pulling me on your show to grill me when you're not pulling Andrew on to say, hey, dude, why couldn't you condemn that on stage? And now it's been like this week-long thing where like he's like fighting people in my Instagram comment section.
Look, I don't want to use anybody's age to discount them because I was taken very seriously by a lot of serious political figures when I was 17 years old. And I don't think anybody's age determines the validity of what they're saying. A very young person can make a very cogent political point and a very old person could say something stupid. But two things can be true at once. It's also true that, Cuomo, you're talking to a fucking 23-year-old. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, you're beefing with someone who is less than half your age, like closer to a third your age. Like, that's so weird.
His beef is less with me and seems to be with Midas. I get along with him. I think I'm grateful that he let me on stage, but he keeps trying to, target Midas.
Let's look at some more of you and Cuomo.
Yes, there is violence, increasingly so in our politics. Why do you think it is, and do you believe it is disproportionately coming from young progressives?
Well, Andrew pointed out an undercurrent of political violence, but there is a deeper undercurrent here of political radicalization of young people, primarily young men. So the same time that Charlie Kirk was tragically shot, another young white dude shot up Evergreen High School in Colorado, and this dude was a far-right neo-Nazi who had anti-Semitic messages online. As a 23-year-old, I lived through COVID during my most formative years, and I was able to rebound and have a social life. But a lot of young people didn't really get to rebound. Imagine having this bubble up around you during COVID, and you never really get to pull that bubble down, so you get sucked deeper and deeper down these algorithms online. Those algorithms are then, incentivized to push the most outrage, whether it's foreign bots like Russia and Iran trying to get people outraged, or domestic actors. I think Elon Musk's Twitter feed, for example, is disgusting and could radicalize a lot of young people. I disagree with the idea that violence disproportionately comes from young progressives. It is uniquely up this year, but if you look at any polls, according to CSIS, political violence overwhelmingly comes from the right. I don't think it's fair to say there's an undercurrent just on the left. There's also an undercurrent on the right. There is something deep and dark boiling inside the GOP, and it's like the Nick Fuentes fashion of...
Okay, so you're up there with Cuomo and Bill O'Reilly. Like, how do you even feel when you get that invite? Like, hey, let's have Bill O'Reilly, one of the people who's so disgraced that even the right was able to throw him out, and then Chris Cuomo, who is Chris Cuomo. Like, do you ever get and then you had the bar fight with Michael Knowles. We're going to cut to a clip right now.
And in America, there is gay marriage. You can say gay marriage does not exist, but there is gay marriage since 2015.
It's like saying there's up-down, though. You could say it, but it doesn't make it real.
Have gay people gotten married in the United States?
No, well, some have when they're hiding their true desires, I guess.
Legally, have gay people gotten married in the United States? Have a man and a man legally gotten married?
No, that's not possible. That'd be like swimming in outer space.
Legally,
it doesn't mean anything.
When you get invites like that, do you ever consider being like, I don't know, this is going to be a little too testy? Or do you take those feelings and say, this is why I have to fucking do it?
No, I loved the invite. And what you don't see on stage with Bill O'Reilly and me and Cuomo is Stephen A. Smith. And then Joe Manchin, for some reason, was sitting in the... Joe Manchin didn't really say anything. Stephen A. Smith easily condemned the Nazi group chat. And it's funny. He condemns it in the clip. But no, I was very glad to get this invite because I'm glad we had representation on that stage. Here's the thing. If I wasn't on that stage, it would have just been Andrew up there, unchallenged. And not only would I have not gotten that clip, it's not even about that clip, he would have probably downplayed or muddied the waters of that group chat and been like, yeah, it's not a big deal. And the people in the crowd would have been like, huh, maybe it isn't a big deal. Maybe the group chat wasn't a big deal. But I think me being on that stage provided the tension, like a rubber band, to pull on him. And people in the audience were like, oh, shit, like this is some really weird stuff.
And what was it like with Michael Knowles? Like, did you guys have to chat before and after? Because that's one of the things that always interests me with shit like this. I did a panel once with Charlie Kirk at Anthony Scaramucci's conference in Las Vegas. And often people are just like really nice, and then you go on and you do your thing, and then they're nice, and then you walk away. It was the thing with Marco Rubio when I went up and cooked Marco Rubio's ass back in 2018. Like, off camera during the commercial break or whatever, we were like, hey man, nice to meet you, such a pleasure. And then we just fucking went for it. Like, what was the situation with Michael Knowles?
Yeah, with both Michael Knowles and Andrew, they're both really nice guys. Like, it's you talk to them before, and everyone wants to be liked. Like in the green room, like they want to be liked. You don't want to be like sitting there being an asshole or sitting in the corner unless you're just antisocial. So like we chatted, how's your flight? Oh, you came from Chicago. And he was like, yeah. So we talked for a bit. With Andrew, we actually had a good chat. We were talking about, Charlie a bit. And I was just like, I respect what you guys built, everything. It was a good moment. And I don't respect like exactly what they built. I just meant the scale of what they were able to build together. I was like, man, you guys did do it. And then we went on stage and that occurred. And then as we walked off, we like shook hands again. So yeah, it's always an affable environment.
I don't need you to spoil anything, but do you have any more teed up? Like, do you have anything scheduled?
I mean, now we just got to wait a month for my Jubilee Surrounded. That'll be fun.
Haven't you done one of those before though?
Not the Surrounded. No, this is going to be new. This is going to be big. It'll be fun.
How was it? What, like, because everybody knows the videos of someone sitting down and 20 people comes in and surrounds them. I think maybe the most viral one I've ever seen was Mehdi Hassan talking to the people who were like, yup, I identify as a fascist. What was that experience like kind of mentally? Like, because when I do shit like that, I kind of dissociate a little bit. And I'm like, the only way I'm going to be able to really make it through this is if I just like cut the cord between my brain and my mind for a second and I just let my body kind of go on autopilot. Like, what's going through your head before a fucking surrounded?
Yeah, like you asked me if I was nervous earlier before like some of that onstage stuff. For that, not really, but for the surrounded, I was pretty intimidated. For some reason, the uncertainty, well, not for some reason, it's obvious why, the uncertainty of walking into a room, 20 people, you don't know like who they are, what they're going to look like. You don't know like they're going to be master debaters who are killers or just like normal college students or whatever. But it ended up going really, really well. Really well. I had a lot of great conversations.
That's interesting because I feel like if you're about to go on with people who kind of do this, that's where, like, if I don't know, if I were you and I had the Kennedy Center thing with these people who have just been doing this forever so much, I feel like I would be more nervous than if I was going up against 20 people who just got like randomly pulled by some booking director. Was it just like the volume of the 20, or was it, you're saying it was like the spontaneity?
Yeah, the volume of it, and yeah, the uncertainty overall. Like I remember I was in the green room waiting, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't even know what I'm about to walk out into. Am I just gonna like 20 people that are gonna roll me? Oh shit, are these gonna all be like debate bros who are not gonna give me a break and are gonna pounce on everything I say?" But it ended up being really solid, good faith conversations, and also the length of it. So when I'm on stage at the Kennedy Center, they were like, "Hey, you got 10 up there. After your 10 minutes, you're back." So it's like, okay, I know what I can do in 10 minutes. But when they're like, you're going to be on set for 3 to 4 hours. Make sure you're hydrated before you come on set. It's like, what the fuck's going to happen here?
Wait, there was no pee break?
No, there was. They're just like, make sure you're like, the advice I got from people was make sure you're well hydrated. Make sure you eat. It's a long shoot. It's tiring. I mean, it's 1v20. Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go, I want to play one more clip. You actually sent me this one and I was kind of baffled, and I want to know the context more than anything. But I also want to watch it again. Dante, can you throw it up?
Were women created to lead or to follow?
I mean, neither inherently. What do you think?
What do you mean, neither inherently?
I think that a woman can develop into a great leader if she has the skill set, if she gets educated like my mom. If I think a lot of women can be great leaders, but inherently, nobody's a leader or a follower. Some women are going to be more predisposed to following people. I don't think that binary is quite true. Do you think
Would you ever follow a woman?
Sure.
You will follow a woman?
Yeah.
You will follow a woman.
I have a question for you.
No, would you follow a woman?
Yes. Why are you trying to pin me down on this? I have a question for you.
Why would you follow a woman?
Say you have a man that is about to take you into a battle that you know you're going to lose.
No, why would you follow a woman? You don't believe in God, huh?
See, those two things aren't connected. Wait, I have a question.
Do you believe in God?
No.
So why is it that you don't believe God exists?
No, probably not.
So do you believe in evil?
Do I believe in evil?
Yeah.
Sure, the characteristic of evil, sure, yeah.
So you don't believe in good, but you believe in evil.
Wait, no. Do I believe in God or good?
Good.
Oh, I do believe in good.
But you believe in good and evil, right?
Yeah.
So how can you believe in good and evil and not believe in God?
Okay, who was that? What? How did you get in touch with this person?
That's Jesse Lee Peterson. He's a conservative commentator who's been around for decades doing this. And this guy, I mean, I'm in California still. I filmed that just yesterday. I'm still clipping it up and everything. But yeah, holy shit. He's like really racist. He doesn't even think he's black. He like hates his own race. And a lot of people in my comment section were mad that I went on there. They're like, why would you do this? Why would you ever give this person a platform? First of all, he's had a platform for decades. He's been doing this for a while. And this is a growing sentiment among people in our generation. Even if he's like, not being that articulate with it, people do think that women shouldn't lead. So at the end of the day, I think that making fun of these people or having funny clips like that is great. When I was 16, I saw a clip of this guy debating Destiny, the live streamer. And I remember being like, holy shit, this is the funniest thing ever. And that pulled me down this whole liberal pipeline. And honestly, then I was watching all these debates and everything online. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm just being in these spaces and making fun of these dumb fucks. I think is a net positive, especially when young men think liberals aren't that funny.
Yeah, and I guess there's this sort of contradiction in how I feel about all this, because we've talked about this before. Like, I am not a big debate fan because I just think that it's kind of dumb. But then you also look at how like Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro were able to win over this generation of dudes, and it was like they were watching clips of people debating. That's what got them into it. That was the way that they got into the whole pipeline. And I remember when I was a young person, like when I was a teenager, I saw clips of Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk owning libs, and it didn't red pill me. It didn't get me to be a conservative person who ever thought that I would vote for somebody like Trump, but it did make me go like, oh, are we dumb?
I want to live in an America where for every one clip of Charlie Kirk, like saying that MLK was a bad person or whatever, we have 5 clips of us explaining basic Black American history. The fact that redlining and systemic racism have affected Black Americans. Like, where's our clips explaining this shit? Because this shit is real and important.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Adam, thank you so much for joining today. I look forward to watching your fucking Jubilee. And everybody, you'll be hearing from us soon with Midas and with Bulwark. We're Cam and Adam. Thanks for tuning in.
Love you, brother.